Okay, so a rectangle
A rectangle.
is JO3. It's not on.
A grid rectangle.
Yes.
A
A grid rectangle of the size 7 by 14 is divided along the grid lines into the squares of the size 2 by 2, consisting of 4 squares.
So it's divided into 2 by 2 blocks.
Yes. And it's also divided into corners consisting of 3 squares.
What is this one?
3 squares.
Someone
Yes.
help me, please.
Corners as in what I interpret this question as is an L shape.
Is L shape or square shape?
Oh, like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a corner.
Okay.
Is it possible that the number of squares of the size 2 by 2 is A, equal to the number of corners, B, greater than the number of corners?
Those are 2 different questions. It's yes and no. It's yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Is it
should I
tiled
explain?
by one of them?
Should I explain?
I can just guess correct.
Yeah, you could. Guys, should I
How
explain?
come we're all like wandering around? Is it because we're all sitting on two?
Anyone just install this back on, please?
No, because I wanna.
Okay, so can you please have the marker?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Alright, yeah, by the way, did you know that your tournament
No,
accounts, they
no,
only
I
do
know
3
like
problems,
2 or
not
3,
5,
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
They only count 3 problems. So you don't have to do all 5. They give you 4 hours.
It's a much points.
Yeah, well, that's what I would do, but sometimes the ones at the end are pretty hard, so.
1 point.
What was Jared's 3 again? That
It's
was
like
7
the
by
14, yeah. And then like so it's
And
like
it's
there's
2 by 2.
yeah,
Alright, have a
and
seat, have a seat, have a seat.
okay. And it's a 2 by 2 minus 1 square.
So what is exactly the question?
So the first part is, can there be equal number of squares and L shapes?
Or tiling this thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can it be tiled by
With the
an equal number of these 2
Yeah.
things?
Yes,
Would
yes.
mean that it would
That
be
counts. I don't know.
uh,
That.
So maybe call the number of these m and the number of these m. M equals m. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know.
Yes, we
I
can.
drew a
We
diagram.
can.
I drew a diagram.
we can fit 2 of each in one 7 by 2 row.
Oh, okay. So you're saying if we have 7 by
2.
2.
Yeah, you
I
can put
give it to
you can put
I lost
2 L
it.
shapes and 2 square shapes. Yeah.
You lost
So
it.
You lost lost what?
Yeah, what did you
I
do?
gave it to
And then a square,
Square.
You lose your life square.
a square.
and then 2
L L.
2 L.
Oh, like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then you
That's a
find
yes.
out-
No, I don't have a.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
So that's
how
1 point.
Yeah.
is it worth 1 point?
That's all B. That's all B. That's all B. B is like can there be more M's than N's and Harwood?
Or can it be done with more
M's than N's.
these than those?
Yeah, more squares than L's.
Can it?
The m greater than n? Is that possible? Is that the kind of?
No.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Can I?
It's very possible.
Huh?
No.
Alright, so someone, you want to suggest something? Stay in your seat, yeah?
Yeah, okay. It's kind of hard because I drew a lot of diagrams. Okay, so I'm gonna draw them in the air.
volunteer to be scribe again?
Yeah, be the scribe, please.
Now we'll see. Let's see what your idea is.
Okay.
The numbers from 1 to 100.
Okay, so my theory is that it can't be done because there's 7 rows, correct? And 7 is odd, but remember like the squares were 2 by 2? And like
Yeah.
wait, let me just so therefore a number of rows that is odd, there has to be an even number of corners, looks like there can't be an odd number of corners, looks like there has to be like fit together to make a 2 by 3 rectangle.
So what he's saying is that like 7 is not divided by 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So what does that mean?
well, like it just means like that. I don't know. It's like
I'm not finished.
you have to have corners for it to work.
Mhm.
by 4.
So there's.
But corners, can't corners do funny things like this? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, you can.
You can do funny things.
But then it was
But then that would be an excessive use of corners. So you
Yeah.
want to limit the
With
number of
excessive
corners.
use.
Yeah, you have to define those and
Yeah,
prove
you have
those.
to define these terms. But there,
Because we could,
wait, you have your school.
in theory, make a 4x4 square
it might
using
not be a
4
solution.
corners and
Looks like
1
they're in the
2x2.
same.
Oh, okay, so my solution was if you color it such that like this rows, the rows they're alternating in here, so like
Okay,
the
so
topmost row is like the topmost row
7,
would be-
14. You color this row black, yeah.
Yeah, black and then white.
This one white.
And then black and then white. And then so on so on. There'll be 14 more tiles which are black than there are white, and each square it covers 2 black squares and 2 white squares.
Ah,
So, and then each of the corners covers 2 of one, 2 of either 2 of white and 1 of black, or 2 of black and 1 of white.
so can you see how this works?
Oh.
So if you color it this way, right? There's by design more black squares than white squares, right? So how many more are there? Well, there's 1 extra row, right? So there's 14 more black squares, yeah? So 1 row of black squares more, and then the others are all evenly spread, yeah? If there's 14 more black squares, the 14 more black squares have to be handled by these corner pieces, yeah? Because every time you have a square piece, look at the way it's, like no matter where you put a square here, it's gonna always cover 2 black and 2 white, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So the squares can't like if you cover them all with squares,
It's impossible.
you can't do this, right? Because you need 14 more black, right? Covering with squares will always keep the equal black and whites.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then for this thing, maybe you can continue your argument. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need at least 14 corners to cover the 14 extra black squares.
All right. So for every corner, you can have the top row be black and the bottom row be white, right? So you can create a difference of 1, right? But you can't do any more than that. So you need at least 14 of these to create a difference of 14. Yeah? And then what did you say?
If you remove 14 from the light, and then after that it's just like 14 by 3. Yeah. And then there will only be space for 14 squares if we do the math.
So there's only enough space for 14 by 4. What do you mean? 14?
There's only enough space for the 14 corner. Because of the total amount of tiles.
It's
Yeah.
14 minus 4.
So and then 14 can't be more than 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Makes
14
sense?
can't be more than 14. Big brain. No, smart. Big brain. does
Oh,
not
good.
mean
So we're
smart.
basically done with
That's my
Oh, we finished that quite quick.
yeah.
Big brain.
We said it was.
Stop saying big